All right, let's get right into it. Every trader I know eventually hits a wall and asks, can I just build my own indicator? And the answer is a huge yes. Today, we're going to look at two totally different ways to do it. The hands-on, craftsman's path, and, well, the innovator's shortcut to get you from a simple idea to a powerful tool right on your chart. You know the feeling, right? You've got your standard RSI or MACD up, and they're fine, but they're not really telling the full story for your strategy. You're constantly thinking, man, I wish I could just combine this with that, or if only I could tweak this one setting. Well, what if you could stop wishing and just start building?
The key to all of this, the secret sauce, is something called Pinescript. It's the language that's baked right into TradingView, and it's what lets you go from just using indicators to actually creating them. We're talking about tailoring your tools to fit your trading style like a glove.
So what is Pinescript really? Think of it as the DNA of TradingView. Every single indicator you've ever clicked on was built with it. But here's the best part. It was designed to be super lightweight. You absolutely do not need a degree in computer science to get started. Honestly, it's a language built for traders by traders.
And what you can do with it is pretty amazing. We're talking way beyond just changing a few colors. You can build completely custom indicators from the ground up. You could combine, say, an RSI filter with a moving average crossover to create one single powerful signal. You can even set up automated alerts that ping you the second your conditions are met. And, this is huge, you can backtest your ideas on years of historical data to see if they actually work.
So, how do we get started? Let's talk about path number one, doing it the manual way. I like to call this the craftsman's path. Yeah, it takes a bit more effort, but what you get in return is total control and a really deep understanding of how your tools actually tick.
Let's say we're building a simple moving average crossover. A signal that tells you when a short-term average crosses a long-term one. The manual process is actually pretty logical. First, you just declare what you're building and tell TradingView, hey, put this on the main chart. Then, and this is super important, you create inputs so you can tweak your settings later without ever digging back into the code. Next up, you do the actual math, using Pinescript's built-in functions. After that, you define the signal itself, the real brains of the operation. And finally, you just pop it on your chart and save it. See? It's a really clean, step-by-step process.
Now, for your first time, you should probably set aside maybe 20 to 40 minutes for this. And that includes a little bit of time for fixing things, which, trust me, is a totally normal part of coding. Think of it as an investment in learning that's going to pay off big time down the road. But what if you don't have 40 minutes? What if you need speed? What if you want to test ideas as fast as you can think of them? Well, let's jump over to path 2, the AI way. This is the innovator's path, and it's all about speed and rapid prototyping. And for that, we're going to talk about a tool called Pineify. The best way to think about it is like your personal Pinescript copilot. It's a visual AI-powered tool that actually writes the code for you. You just describe what you want, either with some simple menus or even plain English, and it spits out clean, ready-to-use code.
So what does building that same SMA crossover look like with this? Oh, it's a completely different world. You just open up the visual editor, select your conditions from some simple drop-down menus, no code, no syntax to remember, you click Generate, and bam! You instantly get clean, modern Pinescript. From there, it's literally just copy and paste it into TradingView. You're done.
And how long does it take? About 3 to 5 minutes. Yeah, you heard that right. This isn't just a little faster, it's a total game changer for your workflow. It lets you test a dozen ideas in the time it would have taken to code just one by hand. Okay, so we've got two really powerful options here, the craftsman's way and the innovator's way. The big question is, which one is right for you? Let's put them head to head and find out.
But before we look at the chart, just take a second and ask yourself this. What's your goal? Are you trying to become a serious algo developer who understands every line of code? Or are you a trader who just wants to validate new strategies as quickly as possible? Your answer to that is going to point you in the right direction.
This table really breaks it all down, doesn't it? With manual coding, yeah, you've got to know the syntax, but your ability to customize is literally unlimited. You gain this deep, full understanding of the language. It's perfect if you're building something really complex and unique. Pineify, on the other hand, requires zero coding and gets you up and running in minutes. It's awesome for non-coders or anyone who just wants to test ideas like lightning. But it's not about which one is better. It's about which is better for your goal right now. And remember, you can use both. A pro-level move is to use an AI tool to generate the basic code, then jump in manually to fine-tune the really complex bits.
So no matter which path you start with, there are a few things you got to keep in mind when you're going from that first draft to a polished final tool. Let's cover a few pro tips to get you there a whole lot faster.
Okay, these are the classic tripwires. First, make sure you're using modern functions. The language is always evolving. Don't forget overlay equals true if you actually want to see your indicator on the price card. Please always use inputs for your settings. It makes your tool way more flexible. Also, start simple. Get something working, then add the fancy stuff. And for the love of all that is profitable, never ever skip the backtesting process. An idea is just an idea until you've proven it against real data.
Once you have a basic indicator working, that's when the real fun begins. You can start stacking logic to make it smarter. For instance, why not add an RSI filter so your indicator only gives you buy signals when the market isn't already overbought? Or maybe add a volume confirmation to make sure there's real power behind a move. And definitely set up automatic alerts so you don't have to be glued to your screen all day.
So, let's wrap up with this thought. Your trading strategy is unique. It's your personal view of the market. So why are you using the same off-the-shelf tools as everyone else? When you build your own indicators, you're not just writing code. You're creating a lens that's perfectly shaped to how you see the market. So, isn't it time your tools were just as unique as your strategy?